Good morning, everyone. My name is Sir Jude, and today I will be rediscussing the first half of the lesson we tackled yesterday, which is plate boundaries, part one. All right. So normally, when there's no earthquake, the roads, the blocks, or the plates are usually flat, or evenly flat by nature. But given in this picture, no, so obviously earthquake has occurred or has happened. And as you can see, both crusts or blocks or plates were elevated because they collided with each other. So if you see crusts like this colliding with each other, then the plate boundary that you witness is called convergent boundary. So the reason why these crusts collided, or at least one part of them is elevated, is because of the driving stress called compression. Now, so we will tackle the three different types of convergent boundary. And as you can see here on the left side, there is a continental crust. And on the right side, there is another continental crust. And the first convergent boundary is continental-continental convergence. So for those who were absent yesterday and weren't able to witness the simulations in the PET simulation, I will simulate them for you. All right. So remember, our first type of convergent boundary is continental-continental convergence. So you have two continental crusts colliding with each other. So because of that, I will put a continental crust on the left and another continental crust on the right. Let me adjust the settings for you. Ayan. So when I press play, so as you can see, both continental crusts become elevated. So there is an almost triangular or a cone form that you can see, no? Para siyang kahon. Pag tinanggal mo yung flap niya, or parang roof or bubong, yung design niya, no? So let's go back to my PowerPoint presentation. Ayan. So why is it that whenever two continental crusts collide, both of them become elevated? That's why you can see a lot of triangular features at their peaks, no? It happens because of their density. So both CCs or continental crusts are light, so both float as well. And it is very obvious that the three geological formations formed by continental-continental convergence are the following. So we have mountains or the bundok. We have mountain ranges, the bulubundukin. And we also have hills, ang mga buhol. So some famous local and international examples of the geological formations by continental-continental convergence are the following. So for mountains, we have the highest mountain in the world, which is Mount Everest, found in the China-Nepal border. And just near the Mount Everest is the Himalayan mountain ranges, which is found at the China-India border. And in the Philippines, we have the Sierra Madre mountain ranges from Region 2, Cagayan Valley, up until Region 5, Bicol region. And then finally, we have Chocolate Hills in Bohol, Philippines as well. So continental convergence is the easiest to spot because of the triangular or almost conical peaks in their shapes, no? So, ayan. Now, we have continental convergence. We also have oceanic convergence, wherein, as expectedly, you have two oceanic crusts colliding with each other. So for those who weren't able to witness the simulation yesterday, let me simulate this second type of convergent boundary for you. Let me just reset all the settings here first. So for oceanic crusts here, there is one that is considered young and another one that is considered old. So I will put young oceanic crust on the left and an old oceanic crust at the right. Okay. So when I finally press play, you can see that the old oceanic crust sinks or subducts under the young oceanic crust. And you see volcanoes form and a trench at the center, somewhere in the middle. All right. So compared to continental convergence, in oceanic convergence, you see at least one oceanic crust subducting under the other. And that subducting oceanic crust is the older and heavier oceanic crust. No? So remember, everything that sinks, everything that goes down is considered lighter or heavier. Sorry, heavier or denser. So that means this oceanic crust here that went down or that sunk, this is considered the old one, while the oceanic crust here is considered the younger one. Now, there are three geological formations formed by oceanic convergence. So the first one and the very obvious at the center, we have volcanoes. No, it erupts lava. The second one is the islands. And the third one, we're in it is the deep line or deep range where the old oceanic crust subducts under the younger oceanic crust. That's the trenches. All right. So some famous examples of volcanoes, islands, and trenches. We have the following. So, yeah, we have Augustine Volcano in Alaska. And most recently, no, on Monday, remember the smog alert, no, because Taal Volcano erupted. But the eruption was kind of weak because it only affected at least Region 4A and certain areas of National Capital Region. For islands, remember we have 100 islands in Pangasinan, Philippines. And for trenches, just beside the Philippines, we have the deepest trench called the Mariana or the Marianas Trench, which is found at the Western Pacific Ocean. So these three, volcanoes, islands, and trenches, they are the offshoots of oceanic convergence. Now, for the third one, as you can see, you have an oceanic crust on the left, and on the right side, you have a continental crust, no? So the third and last type of convergent boundary is continental oceanic convergence. So let me go back to our simulation and reset all the navigations here. So I will put a continental crust on the left and an old oceanic crust on the right. So by adjusting the settings and by pressing play, we can see that the older oceanic crust subducts under the continental crust. And you could almost see identical geological formations here, just like in oceanic convergence. So based from what we witnessed a while ago, no, it is obvious that the oceanic crust subducts under the continental crust because, as we learned from our very first lesson, the oceanic crust is heavier than the continental crust. And as a consequence, the geological formations of continental oceanic convergence are only volcanoes and trenches. So at this point, wala na pong islands na na-form. Ang islands po ay under oceanic convergence only. Okay? And basically, that's it for the three types of convergent boundary. Now, you might be wondering, no, what happens to the subducted crust? No, saan sila napupunta? And is there something amazing that happens uh, somewhere down the road? No? So, let's complete the sentence here. So, the subducted crust, blank to the blank, melts to blank, is expelled by blank. As blank cools to blank, then the cycle repeats. And you have the pool of options here. You have lava, sinks, rocks, mantle, magma, and volcanoes. So I'm going to, what you see here is a screenshot of the demonstration of continental oceanic convergence. But you can also substitute here the demonstration for oceanic convergence as well, because sila yung dalawang type of convergent boundary wherein subduction happens. So let's begin. The subducted crust very obviously goes down. So the synonym of goes down is sinks, no? To the mantle. So it's solid at first, but because mantle is hot, no, the subducted crust melts to magma. And when there is enough accumulation of magma and some pressure, buildup of pressure inside, magma is expelled then by volcanoes. And remember, once magma is outside the crust, no, magma is now referred to as lava. And once lava cools down, it turns to rocks. And then the cycle repeats. So now that the sentence is formed, let me read it for you. What happens to the subducted crust? The subducted crust sinks to the mantle, melts to magma, is expelled by volcanoes. As lava cools to rocks, then the cycle repeats. So in Tagalog, yung lulubog na crust, mapupunta sa mantle, matutunaw as magma, ilalabas ng mga bulkan bilang lava, then lalamig bilang mga bato. What's fascinating to me about convergent boundary in general, specifically the two types of convergent boundary that undergo subduction, is that we learned that the planet Earth has a way of recycling its land component, no? Kasi yung mga bato eventually, pag ayan, yung lava pag natuyo na as bato, the bato will become part of the crust again, and then the old oceanic crust, or the oceanic crust rather, would then subduct under the continental or a younger oceanic crust, and then it will become part of the mantle as magma, then isasabog na naman ng vulkan as lava, then matutuyo as bato. No? So this is how the planet Earth recycles its own matter, its own landforms. No, that's why whatever landform that was featured a while ago, mountains, mountain ranges, hills, volcanoes, islands, and trenches, those six of them, hindi lang sila tourist sites or destinations. They are evidence that the planet Earth has its own way of recycling its own stuff, no? It doesn't need us human beings, although pwede makatulong ang human beings to recycle the natural resources of planet Earth. But you know that it's not just there to be there. It's doing its thing for a reason. Okay? So now, let's recap everything that we tackled by answering the following questions, no? So, don't be don't feel dizzy or nauseous by the pictures. We will go into them one by one. Okay, let me start. So, what crusts are in number one? So, both crusts are actually supporting an ocean here. So, obviously, These crusts are oceanic. Next, what driving stress motivates the crust in number one to move? So you see an arrow, one arrow pointing to the right and another one pointing to the left. So if they're colliding, then therefore they are motivated by a driving stress called compression. All right. Number three, what plate boundary is demonstrated above? So you have two oceanic crusts driven by compression. That's why the full name or the specific name of the plate boundary is oceanic oceanic convergence. Number four. So from numbers four to six, we will now identify the geological formations by oceanic convergence. So number four is the most easily identifiable landform, which is obviously a volcano. For number five, it almost resembles a volcano, but since there is no eruption, we can call it an island. Because there's no space for the magma to erupt. That's why it's only an island, not a volcano. And number six, the deep portion wherein the oceanic crust subducts another oceanic crust is called a trench. Ayan. And there you go. That means in this recap, this entire picture is a demonstration of oceanic convergence and its geological formations. All right, let's move on to the next picture. Let me just erase all the answers. Okay. Number one, what crust is in number one? The crust in number one supports ocean, so that's an oceanic crust. Number two, what crust is in number two? The crust in number two supports continents. That's why it's a continental crust. Number three, what driving stress motivates the crust in number one and number two to move? So you can see that the oceanic crust is moving to the right and the continental crust is moving to the left. That's why this plate boundary is driven by none other than compression. Dito ko na lang isusulat yung answer. All right. Oops. Ayan, sorry kung nag-overlap na yung mga text. Number four. What plate boundary is demonstrated above? So you have one oceanic crust colliding with a continental crust. That's why this one is a continental oceanic convergence. So sir, can we interchange the crust in the title? Can we also call it oceanic continental convergence? That's also fine. Okay. Now, there are two geological formations by continental oceanic convergence. In number five, this is very obviously a volcano because you can see an eruption. And number six, the moment that you see the point where the oceanic crust subducts under the continental crust, no? So basically, the point of subduction, that is where the trench is located. So that means that this picture is a demonstration of continental oceanic convergence and its geological formations. All right, finally, the third one. Okay, so what crusts are in number one? So Walang oceans na sinusuportahan dito. That means both crusts are considered continental. Number two, what driving stress motivates the crusts in number one to move? So both continental crusts are moving towards each other. So that means collision is happening and there's no other driving stress motivating collision other than compression. Number three, what plate boundary is demonstrated above? You have two continental crusts colliding with each other. So this is continental, continental convergence. Last question for this session. What landform or water form is number four? So there are three possible answers here, no? So we have mountains, mountain ranges, and hills. What makes continental-continental convergence unique compared to the other types of convergent boundary is that this is the only convergent boundary wherein no subduction occurs. Because as we explained earlier, both continental crusts are considered lighter compared to oceanic crusts. Okay, that's why you can see triangular or conical peaks. All right, and that's it for convergent boundary, no? Wala ko ipapa-homework, wala rin po ako ipapa-print for next week. I want you to enjoy your long weekend. And for those of you na baka makalimutan ito, then here's the video for you. All right, so enjoy your long weekend. See you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.